The Adventures of Tintin. As a Montrealer, when I was a kid, me and the other kids haven't really read the superhero comic books like DC or Marvel. For us, we read two kinds of comics: comic strips from the newspaper, or Belgian comic books. I remember I used to read all different kinds of those, like the Smurfs, Asterix, Lucky Luke, and of course, Tintin. Or, as we call him here, Tintin. Now that the most anticipated animated film of the year by the combined powers of Peter Jackson and Steven Spielberg is released, will these two legends make something that's as incredible as their previous classics? Or do two rights make a wrong? Let's find out. The story. The story is about Tintin trying to solve a mystery about a sunken ship with buried treasure called the Unicorn. A plot that is similar to the Indiana Jones or the National Treasure movies in how the pieces of the mystery are coming together as the movie progresses. How they did it here is just awesome. Not only that they explained it in such a creative and interesting way that makes you want to know what will happen next, but also in a very intense and action-packed way. One of the main reasons of that could be how the stakes would grow larger and larger by the minute, as the treasure is bigger than what we expected, the places they go to are further than where they are, and the villains get even more dangerous than before. I don't know what else to say about the story that's good other than almost everything works because it grabs your attention immediately, it's fun, and it brings you to one heck of a ride. I said almost everything because if there is one flaw about the story, it's that some people might find it to be a little too similar to the Indiana Jones films. That might be true, but let's be honest here. I think Spielberg owes some people big time for this. But for me, I don't mind that flaw at all. When a story like this can just pull you in the minute it starts, then you know that the writers have done their job. The animation. Ever since Robert Zemeckis came in with image movers, motion captured animation hasn't been looked upon as a good subgenre for animation. But I bet you right now that Zemeckis is watching this and he's asking to himself, how the fridge did they do that? Tintin shows every movie maker out there that this is how motion capture animation should be done when making people. Since this is motion capture, I'm not really going to talk about the character animation, since the actions are done by real people. So let's move on to the character design. It's a mix of both real life and the design made in the classic Belgian comics, and it looks spectacular. It's not like they're too warped at the point it doesn't look human anymore. Oh, no. It's like you'd believe they're real, but they also look exactly identical to the Hergé design. By the way, Hergé is the guy who made Tintin. Also, when I look in their eyes, I feel like I see an actual soul in the characters. It's not like in the Image Movers films where the characters look unnatural and not sure if they're actually human. But I kid you not, during half of the movie, I was often fooled that the film was in live action instead of animation. I've never experienced that moment before in my life, and that's exactly how good it is. But that's not even the best part. Remember what I told you about this movie being intense and action-packed? For this, that's kind of an understatement. There's a crazy motorcycle chase, an escape out of a boat, a huge pirate battle, that's in flashback by the way, that's like a pre-movies Pirates in the Caribbean coming to life, and more. All I could say about those scenes is that this is animation at its best. If you think that Pixar, Animal Logic, or ILM makes the best animation in this industry, go watch this movie and it will tell you who really is the best of the best. The characters. What good is a solving the mystery story without an amazing cast to support it? First, there's Tintin himself. who you really support him all the way through, but sometimes I feel like he would do too much exposition throughout the film. There's Snowy, who I'm sure will steal the movie for many people. Then there's my favorite character of the movie, Captain Haddock, played by the master of motion capture performances, Andy Serkis. Haddock is a drunken sea captain who plays a major role in the mystery. Not only is this guy hilarious of his drinking problem, but we also experience a lot of character development coming out of this guy. Then there are the two characters that every kid remembers when reading the comics, Thompson and Thompson. In here, they are exactly like the comics. They seem serious, but are actually clumsy and not the brightest cops of the force. However, some jokes they say are a hit and miss, but the slapstick always makes me laugh. And then there's the villain, Sakharine, who is the true definition of an evil genius. Not only does he know all about the mystery of the unicorn, but he also made Haddock's crew go on his side and has a falcon as an evil pet that can be pretty useful. There's a lot more about him that I didn't say yet, but that would require to spoil some plot elements of the movie. But I can say that he is one great villain. I would like to mention one character who doesn't appear that much in the movie, but is 100% pure badass, the Red Rackham. He is an evil pirate who looks like Captain Morgan, but all in red, wears a mask, and has a cape that's on fire, and he uses it to his advantage. That is the most awesome pirate I've ever seen to be put on film, period. As you can see, rather if their roles are big or small, the characters will always leave a big impact on you. Oh, and one more thing. Keep an eye out at the beginning of the movie for a clever cameo of who I think is Hergé himself. It has been a while since we've seen a movie that Spielberg himself directed that was this intense and so much fun to watch. The Adventures of Tintin gives us a greatly told story, mind-blowing motion-captured animation, and unique and very memorable characters. I can understand why people call this the best animated film of the year. Rather if it's better than Kung Fu Panda 2? I'll have to think about it, but it's definitely as enjoyable as that one. And so, it is with great pride that I give this film the first ever AniMat's seal of approval. A seal that is only awarded to those who truly understand the art of animated films and is a perfect example of writing, animation, voice acting, and so much more. All I could say about it now is just go check it out. As for me, I just can't wait for the Blu-ray release.